welcome back to Tropical Marine Centre. Colette here. Today's video we're going to be showing you an event 10 till 5:30 today, Saturday and Sunday this weekend at the Goldfish Bowl in Oxford. So I'm going to be taking you on a tour around the shop, which is mega. It's a really big shop, so I think you're all going to enjoy seeing this. It's also got some filtration in here that has come from Tropical Marine Centre as well, so I'm really excited to show you all that. And please stay tuned. Thank you very much for watching. So the first thing that you'll see when you walk into this shop is the tropical and freshwater section. You are faced with a huge variety of different species, from discus, guppies, live bearers to cherry shrimp. There is walls of Siamese fighter fish throughout this shop, also with a huge amounts of different variations in colour. They also sell a huge variety of plants for your aquariums in here too, and actually dose CO2 into this tank to help the plants grow. And you can see this through the roots that have started to spur in these. So instead of feeding oxygen to the planted tank, they found a lot more success in using CO2 to help their plants thrive and continue to grow out. This is something that Barry, the owner of the shop, is incredibly proud of, and the planted tanks in here show this, with the show-stopping tank here designed based on the prehistoric Jurassic Park theme. This houses a group of long-nosed elephantfish and African butterfly fish, along with some shrimps as well. I genuinely could not stop looking at this tank all throughout the day that I was there, and it did make me consider actually opening up and starting a planted reef tank from this. Now to show you a little more of the shop and what they have to offer. Throughout the day the shop was incredibly busy, and the staff members all did an amazing job at triaging each and every customer on what they have at home and explaining what would be best for them with their suitability in mind. Now, we showcased our Next Wave 35 tank coming very soon, and we're also able to show off all of our newer products that have just come out onto the market with our whole nano range. They also have a huge variety of TMC products in store behind the counter, and this also included some of our older ranges with the UFO style light available too, which I loved. This shop also has its own quarantine facilities for it to house a variety of tropical freshwater and marine fish when they first come in or need to be treated. And this is on a pretty big scale from what I've seen before in a retail shop environment. It may have been going for over 5 decades, so you will see some wear and tear, but my God, does it have a huge amount of character. I'm now going to take you behind the scenes to show you the pump and filtration room, which also houses a huge backup generator in case of blackouts. It's basically a mini tropical marine centre.
And this is the control room. Now these are all the TMC UVs. Down here I have TMC pumps, and it's got a control panel beside me that controls the whole room. We've also got some really great filters at the back as well that runs the whole shop. And you can also see that they sell terrapins as well. So we've got some larger scale terrapins and then also some tiny little ones next to me here. Here we've got little tiny musk terrapins for anyone that's interested in the terrapin world. Beautiful. And look at the size of this 2,000 litre saltwater aquarium. The siding here is a puffer, which is huge, the biggest puffer I've ever seen, and then also a remora shark, you can see here. I'll show you up close. So what are we feeding today?
So, we are feeding our 2,000 litre tank. We have one of our large fly puffers, remora sharks. We've got a couple of rabbit fish in there, sergeant majors, and a lot of monos.
Wow.
That type of fish is mental. He
Yeah.
absolutely loves his seaweed.
Oh.
Like crazy for his seaweed. So much so he sees the packet and...
So he's going vegan today, yeah?
He will eat whatever kind of goes in. Yeah, very much so.
Okay.
But, as you can see, he goes crazy for his seaweed.
Seaweed.
So,
Oh, that's lovely, right?
your fingers because he will take things off if he was to bite you. Absolutely crazy for the seaweed. Absolutely.
Can I ask?
Yeah, just give it one.
Okay, right.
So there's a little gap
Hi.
just up here.
Okay, yeah. Oh wow, you can proper feel them grabbing it from you.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, viewers.
He gets the lion's share of this stuff.
Yeah.
But for fish, not overly interested.
No, because he's vegan.
Exactly.
The Robora's loving it though.
Sounds squishy. You can have another piece of seaweed.
Does he have a name?
I'll call him Squishy.
Oh, there you go, Squishy.
No table manners.
Fingers crossed he does the trick.
Come on. Here, babe.
Oh. He hardly even ate any of that. He just literally fed you
Yeah, he's
nothing.
feeding them. That's his home.
Oh.
We are now going to feed the longhorn cowfish. These are absolutely amazing fish to watch, but they do get big, so you do need to be careful what size aquarium you put these into. Now these two love a good Lady in the Tramp moment, as you can see, sharing their food. I hope you enjoy watching these two feed as much as I do. I am going to move on to the interview with Jasmine, Barry the owner's daughter. Throughout the interview, I will be showcasing more of the shop. Yes, that's right, more, as you haven't seen the half of it yet.
How did you start out in the hobby?
The fish keeping hobby has been in our family for many years. So my dad, who owns the shop, he's the one that sort of got interested when he was a young child. He got a few guppies, probably in a bowl, something that you probably wouldn't do right now. So he had that, and then from there he just got completely obsessed with fish keeping. He started when he was 16. I was obviously, I'm 30 now nearly, so I probably took my first steps in here. We've been open for over 5 decades now, so
Wow.
I've been, probably took my first steps.
Born and raised.
Born and raised fish keeping, and now we've got loads of tanks at home, and obviously all the tanks here too.
Wow, that's amazing. I love that. So whereabouts for the viewers is the shop situated?
So we're situated in Oxford, specific part of Oxford called Cowley. We're near all the major motorways and everything, so quite accessible in London. And we've been on this site for over 30 years. And we've had other shops in Oxford, but now we've got this one sort of main site that we operate from.
Brilliant, thank you. And what are the opening hours of the shop?
So we're open Mondays through Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Sundays we're open 11 until 5.
Brilliant, thank you. When did this shop specifically open?
So we've been on this site I think for over 30 years. I originally started as wholesale, so at first the ornament room that you might see in the rest of the video, that was our whole retail bit, and there was the rest of us for wholesale. Eventually though we changed over and made it all retail, so the full site now is just all retail.
And hence the TMC pump room pretty much in the back.
Yeah, so we've obviously been working with TMC for a very long time, as you can see from all of our filter room here. So our filter room is connected to a reservoir. So down in our reservoir, there's I think it's 360,000 litres of water an hour.
Wow.
Move around, and it's all run by TMC equipment. So because they support us greatly with all the work they do, so that's why we support them.
Brilliant, thank you. Another question is, can you order online with this shop? Yes, so we have a dry goods online site, so you can purchase any dry goods, and the majority of dry goods online. We don't sell fish online at present, and that's because we believe that it's best that you come, see the fish for yourself, see them feeding, see them in their natural habitat, and then you can also pick and choose which fish you like. And for us, with the children especially, we like for them to be able to come and pick the fish and choose for yourself, and I always make sure that the kids make it as hard as possible for us to pick the exact right one that they want.
Yeah, it's been great today to see all the interaction of the kids with the fish.
Yeah.
And it's just been so enjoyable just to watch that alone, never mind the
We always try and get the kids involved, especially with the water testing as well.
Yeah.
Obviously that's a really big part of what we do, and we offer free water testing for our customers, so it's something that we like to get the kids involved, so sometimes I get the kids to help actually do the test and obviously read them as well. So,
yeah, that's really good. I have actually seen you do that a few times today as well, so I was wondering what you were doing over there. So
we just try and make it a family thing, obviously.
At the end of the day, they're going to probably end up getting into the hobby, aren't they, as well? So, next wave of reef keepers. So what can people expect to see from this shop?
So the thing that people say the most when they come in is that I didn't realise it was so big. So the shop doesn't look that big from the front, but as you walk in, it goes very flat. So that obviously is part of what we like to see. We have over 150 tropical tanks. We've got like 80 betta tanks. We've got loads of marines, loads of coral. We have a whole room dedicated to coral, a whole room dedicated to ornaments. So the whole point of us is our strapline is everything for the fish keeper, and that's what we try and put under one roof. So hopefully anything you need to apply for us.
What you strive for, you've definitely delivered it, that is for sure. So what is your favourite part?
So I think the beauty of working in a fish shop is that you get to own lots of tanks.
Yeah.
And everybody else helps look after too. So that's why we have a lot of display tanks here, because we like all of our staff to get hands-on, and if they're not able to have one at home, at least they can have one here, so everybody has their own responsibility of what tank they look after. And obviously here we can have a big selection of tanks. So I do really enjoy working in a fish shop. But I also have my tank at home as well, so I have the best of both.
Ah, amazing. What have you got in your tank at home?
So I'm just tropical at the moment.
Okay.
So mine's heavily planted. I've got some cherry barbs, and a big shoal of cardinal tetras.
Oh, nice.
And a few fly pots to help with that pesky.
I do love them. They're really nice. Well, I bet it's amazing to come in here and be able to see the bigger variety of fish, and the ones that you don't necessarily always have a tank big enough for, but these tanks are a lot bigger, so they're able to house them.
Yeah, so we have, you've probably already seen it.
Yeah.
We have downstairs a really big 2,000 litre reef tank, which we're able to obviously house some bigger fish, and we also have some space in our reservoir as well.
Yeah. And that giant eel that's at the side of us.
Giant eel, which is a favourite with the kids.
Yeah, definitely. I actually saw a little girl, I'll put this on the screen just now, earlier, and she was literally kissing the tank, and the eel was right at the front of it, and I was like, that is the closest you're ever going to get to one of those eels.
Yeah.
It really truly is.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
So how many litres of marine, freshwater and pond do you have in total throughout?
How many litres? Maybe I can answer in a very different way. So we have, I'd say, at least over 200 tropical aquariums full of fish. We've got cichlids, community fish. We have a few oddballs as well. We try and keep a variety, so we have quite a variety of customers. On the marine side, as you probably can see, we've got our bigger fish. We have our coral room. And we also have lots of fish for the nano market, which obviously is quite popular.
Yeah.
And then cold water, we have a whole room full of fancy goldfish, panda, randas, things like that, so make it a little bit different, as well as our pond fish. So we try and keep a nice variety for all our customers, and our plant tank as well, which has got loads of different species of plants.
Brilliant, thank you. Now this is a bit of a strange question, you may not be able to answer this straight away, but if you could design any product in the industry, what would it be? Say if you wanted to make your life easier, or you wanted to make something that's exciting for you.
I think nowadays in the industry there's a lot more going towards Bluetooth or mobile apps, which I think would be really good, and especially for the younger generation.
Yeah.
So something that allows you to monitor your tank more away from home, I think would be good. There's a little gap in the market there. So something you can monitor your tank with. We obviously have the camera.
Yeah.
That's obviously something else to help monitor the levels or something that is at a good price point that people will be encouraged to buy.
Yeah, no, I totally get where you're coming from there with the price point, because things can be a little bit more high end and it's harder for everyone to be able to monitor those sorts of things or be able to afford it. So
definitely,
it's a good one. I like that. So if you could have a dream tank, what would it look like?
So I once saw this tank and it was just dogwood and cardboard tetras. So it was massive. It was like, it must have been about 2,000 litres. So if I had the space in my house, I definitely have one of those. I also would like to have, we always joke about it here, is to have like a marine pond.
Yeah.
So sometimes we joke about how we're going to redo the shop and we talk about how it's obviously completely impractical for selling fish, but from a personal perspective, I'd love to have like a marine pond here.
Love it.
That would, with a little beach by the side of it. So
do you know, I was actually watching YouTube the other day and there was a guy that has a marine pond outside of his house.
Oh, wow.
It's covered over so that the rainwater that gets in is fresh water, so it tops it up with the RO for him.
Cool.
So it just was mental, but he has a marine pond in his garden.
yeah,
I never would have
I'd love
thought.
to have that. It's warm enough in here.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
Absolutely. Are there any memorable stories or moments that have happened throughout the decades of the shop being open that you'd like to share with the viewers, or that would be a funny moment to share?
I don't know if it would be a funny one, but Max, who is Barry's business partner, unfortunately he's passed away now, but he was a very big part of the industry, especially in before, like, you know, the sort of at the beginning when everybody was sort of just starting out. So he was one of the first people to ever import a blue ribbon eel into the UK. So I think it must have been back in the 60s and 70s. So he was the first one to do that. Funny stories, I'm not sure I have any funny stories, but we try and like lead the industry the best way we can with what we offer, and so we try and keep a good variety of livestock in, and that's always been something very important to us from ever since we started.
Yeah, and one thing that I will say, walking into the shop and being here for the day, I have seen every single staff member triage the customers about the tank, which, you know, to see whether or not they have certain fish there, or whether or not they've got a tank big enough, and that's something that I think is massively beneficial in this industry, and they've all done a great job doing today.
Yeah, it's really important to us that we're selling fish to the right customers, have the right setups. So we always encourage people to shop like sensible. Like one you might be able to get something smaller and cheaper, or you might be able to put this fish with that fish. It might not work, and we'd rather err on the side of caution and make sure our customers. And that's another reason why we don't sell online, because we cannot, you know,
Can't govern it.
and you don't know what other people are doing. And I've had people come in, sadly, that have bought fish from online, and they put the worst fish possible in the new tank. And for us, we hate seeing that. We don't like seeing fish lots. Unfortunately, she lost all of her fish, so she came to us for advice. And then we were able to set her up on the right path.
And then they'll come back to you on and on and on, you know?
Of course, and they'll enjoy the industry. And it's not just about us doing it for ourselves, we're doing it for the whole industry. That's really important to us, that the industry has a good name, it's not just
the shop. No, absolutely. Thank you very much for that. I really do appreciate it, and hope everyone's enjoyed this video. Okay, so that's everything from me today at Tropical Marine Centre. I hope you've all really enjoyed this tour and show of the event for you, and thank you very much to everyone that's watched. Don't forget that you can click subscribe if you haven't already over on our YouTube channel, or you can click the notification bell to be reminded of our future videos as well. Thank you everyone, take care.